Hello there, fellow builders and green thumbs. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens. Episode 71. Building the Halfmoon Farm. 300 fuel lasts 2.5 days. I can tune this down if you're wondering. So it lasts for more. But again, I'm burning fuel on purpose as fast as I can so we get a better arc. Oh, I missed a body. And because I have like 1,000 fuel, it's fine. So how much power are we generating? 36,000 watts? Oh my god. Alright, well. Guess the batteries are full. Should I build things to use up the excess power? So if you're wondering what I'm referring to, this would be like temporary builds, like sleep accelerators, which obviously aren't going to benefit. Like, one, I'm not generating all this excess power, I might have to turn back off. But should I add, like, heaters to the colony, or sleep accelerators, or, you know, things of this nature in order to take advantage of this, or build another farm? That's another completely viable thing. Basically, should I take on a project to make use of the power, or should I just, like, leave it as is? I'll leave that up to you. How's our beer and tea? Pretty good. Pretty stable. About 100 of each. Good. We also might need a new iron mining tunnel down to the south. Yes. I'm going to keep scanning, hoping that a better iron vein opens up. Because we still have like 1,000 iron here or so. But yeah, that's noted. Okay, for the hospital bed, let's do this. I should have ran a prediction of the quality, but too late. Masterwork. Now that the hospital bed is done, I'm going to go back to ground pen scanning. But we have a really good spot to run our surgeries. Still looking for uranium through the ground scanner, though. We haven't found it yet. You guys think I should use up the excess power? What extra project to take on? Second farm. Base-wide heat. Sleep accelerator. Other viewer suggestions. So base-wide heat would mean, like, heated bedrooms and the like, so that people don't have those negative buffs. Leave that up to you. We found some coal. Not nearby. And speaking of coal, I think we're running low. There we go. Yeah, I could leave that on. I just realized there's really no urgency about getting rid of my my unnecessary power consumption. One more minute to vote in the extra project to take on. So one thing I could consider when building another farm, which I will pull on, because it looks like that's going to be the winning condition, is I could try to build a farm to integrate into stony soil. And the reason to consider that is not all crops can be hydroponically grown. So if I did include stony soil, I could consider growing things like Devil Strand, which would otherwise be impossible for me to grow because it's not a hydroponic crop. With that in mind, Devil Strand grows really slowly, and in stony soil it will grow even slower still. So it might not make a whole lot of sense in terms of efficiency, but I'm going to pull forward anyway. So given that the poll is over, should my second farm use stony soil? Yes or no? Pretty simple question. So just to take a look for grow zones. Here is the list of crops that could be grown outside of hydroponics. So you've got stuff like corn, or hay grass, or nutrifungus, or, well, flowers. All of which are not in the hydroponic menu. Well, nutrifungus is, but the rest isn't in the hydroponic menu like flowers, or hay grass, or corn. Because they're just not hydroponic crops. Whether that means we're going to be ending up doing Devil Strand, I can have a follow-up poll. But yeah, I can have you guys decide that. Okay, looks like yes. Should the extra farm focus Devil Strand? Which would mean we would pivot quickly to get Devil Strand research, which wouldn't take very long. Now, here is the constraint. The constraint is that Devil Strand has high fertility sensitivity, which means in stony soil it grows slow, and it already takes like half a year to grow. So growing even slower is pretty brutal. But if you think it's worth it, that's cool. Devil Strand isn't a particularly it isn't a material that is particularly awesome for cold insulation, which is one of the something to consider. That it's very good to get for armor, but it's not really going to help us keep all that warm. It's not like wool or heavy leather or something like that. But you can vote on it all the same. And if not, I'll try to set up the farm to be like a high yield farm with a variety of crops. Man, you guys are really on the fence. Well, if you haven't voted yet, please do so. I'll give you one more minute to vote. Because I'd like to call on our final voting session soon, too. Okay, I think asking you guys to vote obviously pushed the no's ahead. So, let's plan out said farm. It will include stony soil, but it is not going to focus on it's not going to necessarily focus on I'm trying to think. So if I put the light here, all the stony soil that falls under the partial light will be able to grow things like tinctoria and fiber corn. And I think that's reasonable. So I want to paint out the zone, which is kind of hard to do. Like, I can't memorize it all that well. What is this, 11 wide? No, it's 9 wide. Give me a moment. Wish there was a way to, like... Oh, I painted that wrong anyway. A way to see the potential full or partial light area. Okay, that was one shifted up. So this is roughly the extent of the sphere of influence. And then it will go... like that. Yep. So the concept I have is that this back wall is going to be flush, like this. So it's going to be like a half moon, because there's really not a lot of benefit. Oops, that's too close. There's not a lot of benefit growing past beyond this point, because it would have to be all hydroponic, and I don't want that. So building it like this. Alright, let me take a look at that again. Just trying to get the layout. No, I'm going to bring that inner wall in like this. Okay. So that's roughly the region of the zone that I plan to grow in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this wall come out like this, so that it connects to the base. This, as a standalone farm, is likely to be ignored by raiders, because there's not like anything of sap value inside. And then let me put a plan spot here. So that's the outer extent of its light range. So the walls to this thing are going to be like this. It will be doubled walled eventually. I don't need it initially. I'm doing the planning phase. You're kind of getting ahead of everything. And actually, this back wall is going to line up here instead. There we go. That looks about right. And then overlaying the soil fertility. I don't really mind that there's voids, actually. I'm going to try to keep it to be like a decent shape. because all of the non-stony soil, rough limestone and slate here won't be useful to me, but just for the sake of a decent shape, I'll build it like this. Which means that we're going to want a door of wood here. And the first pass at this is just going to be single-walled. And then as we work, we'll build the double wall. Which means close stalwart and close pilgrims will be allowed around here. Okay. So the current priority right now is scan for uranium and build a farm. And before I run out of time for this stream, let's have the final voting session. So sorry it took so long. Voting session number 33, being called in the 2nd of spring, year 7. We're finally in year 7. And here are the proposals. Stalwarts want a larger ritual room for their growing number of members, and the pilgrims demand a dedicated bar to be built for their mandated alcohol allowance. And you can vote for your favorite, or abstain, or defer to me. Hey, Finesse. Come at a rather weird time, because we're just having some polling, but thank you for the raid. What were you up to? I have no idea what that game is. Tell me about it in the chat. Oh, you like the Zomboid streams. Well, thank you. All right, one more minute to vote in this poll. And again, a little reminder, the way this works is you are invited to assign yourself to a faction, whether it be Stalwarts or Pilgrims. And then once you assign yourself to the faction, you do not vote for the opposing faction's proposals. So if you are a self-assigned Stalwart, you never vote for Pilgrim, and if you're a self-assigned Pilgrim, you never vote for Stalwart. And in the case that you're an actual colonist, you only vote for your own. You never cross the party lines. So if you are, let's say, Axios, the leader of the Pilgrims, you would never ever vote for a Stalwart suggestion. And well, you got 18 seconds left to vote, and it's pretty tied. So if you haven't voted already, feel free to throw your weight around. Okay, interesting. It concludes in a tied vote with no resolution. This is not the first time it has happened. If we open up the history, as you can see, the 15th session was similar. A tied vote with no resolution. It means nobody wins and everyone's unhappy. So congratulations, Stalwarts. You're... that was the wrong direction. You are now oppressed. Yep. You had one win, but then, you know, this came as a crushing loss. And then, of course, the Pilgrims are now less happy as well. Good for no one. Brutal, I know, but that's just the way this works. Tied votes are brutal. Intentionally so. Wow, we still have so much grid excess. Let's keep the fuel going. So, in terms of the ignition stabilizer, you know what? I don't feel like this... I know my head's in the way. I don't feel like the counter's working. Here, let me hide myself. So the ignition stabilizer says the arc needs to burn 1,000 fuel. And it has counted me burning 64 fuel so far. And I don't think I need to check the math to know that that is baloney. Because this arc overdrive that we've gone through has definitely burned way more than 64 fuel. So, maybe this process cannot be accelerated due to overdrives. So I'm going to change the arc tuning here. Tinkering with its output to conserve fuel, because apparently it doesn't get faster. So, our fuel will last like 3 times longer with the changes I just made. That's too bad. We are having a really hard time trying to find uranium. But our builders are having a great time getting the job going. My goodness. There we go. Construction project, no problem. Negative 75 degrees out, no problem. You guys are crazy. Negative 75 should deter you. I don't know why it isn't. I am going to prioritize this section here. So that we can heat the tunnels sooner. It'll make it easier to get out to the work site. Alright, so we burned 76 fuel. Yeah, I guess arc overdrive doesn't affect it or something. I don't know. But arc overdrive has to be on for 5 days, or the arc breaks down, and that's like a losing scenario for us. So it's not like, I mean, I can't turn off the arc overdrive anyway, but we have plenty of fuel to accommodate its overdrive duration, which is good. Are we out of limestone? We are. I think I am going to deep drill for it. Walking out into the snow, I think, is a bit too dangerous still with the temperature as it is. But we have drillers that are eager and able to deep drill for it, no problem, so might as well drill. And I'm changing the layout of this room just a little bit to be more easily defended in the case of an infestation. So that if bugs come up while we're deep drilling for limestone, we can win pretty easily. Meaning, brawler bottleneck. I'll even go and move the other plasteel drill over to the limestone site. So we're just plowing limestone quickly. I think that will help. It's one of the reasons why I didn't start with double walls, because double walls would be a bit too ambitious. More wood. not super close. I'm going to turn off the iron drills. We have so much steel now. I think it's fine to... I'll leave the lights on. That doesn't bother me. But I'm going to focus on getting the limestone and having my builders also construct. JD will be out in 4 days. And then if I'm not mistaken, once JD's out, that is the only region cycle we need. So essentially, I think what it will come down to is anytime any of our pilgrims need to go through a region cycle, they're like eligible to do that because of how infrequent our need for biosculpting is. So that's definitely to their benefit. Have we scanned anything other than wood? No, I don't think so. Oh, no, we did scan that coal. And this silver. But it's mostly been wood. The idea here, of course, is that the arc site is over a buried timber forest. So there'd be a lot of wood everywhere. Oh, we're so close to making a connection here. I guess while my my workers are idle, I can start putting the flooring in. It's gonna look very random hodgepodge. Also, the floor, well, if we're heating up the rooms for farming, I guess it doesn't really matter that it's gonna snow on top of it, because the snow will inevitably melt. And then for some of it, I'll just have built roof. I'm sure we're gonna need pillars to hold up this roof, because this is a really, really large farm zone. So I'll also incorporate pillars for structural support. Plasteel! Not too far away. It's not closer than our old plasteel, though. Orla, thank you for the resub, too. Oh, nice. I think all the limestone got delivered for the wall. Or most of it. Do we find gold as well? This one's from long ago. I don't think we found gold recently. It would be in the message log, though. So, wood, coal, silver, wood. Okay. Yeah, we have limestone, guys. You can get cutting. In this case, it might make sense for me to have a temporary stockpile that is higher priority for limestone. So that the stone cutter themselves doesn't have to do a lot of the hauling. That way we cut a little quicker. And there we go. Now our hallways are connecting. The intention here for this hole was to put another heater here to keep the hallways better heated. Please scan uranium. Scanners are like, nope, no uranium found. There's geothermal activity, but none of the U-238 stuff. I'm surprised their work priorities... Oh, there we go. Fishpick's finally doing it. I was going to say they've been, like, slowly walking on snow. It would be so much faster if they just built the flagstone, built the light. But they're getting to it. And I'm going to say... Given that we're halfway into spring now, I'm turning off the bug bait. The ambient temperature is warming up, and it's not going to be sufficient in killing bugs with any certainty. So I think it's best that we keep the bug trap off until next fall. So it's going to be like spring 6 to fall 6 that it's disabled for safety purposes. Should have ran a prediction of, am I ever going to find uranium? Yes or no. But at this point, I'm going to say Glitterworld meds can probably be put on hold. And I might want to reassess my farms for heal root. So this section and this section is going to go to heal root. Technically speaking, 4 of the benches are still dedicated for medicine production for biosculpting pods, but we're low on herbal meds because a lot of herbal meds have turned into Glitterworld meds, so I think we should save up a bit. These heaters were what, negative 40, negative 32, and I'll make this one like 0-ish. Negative 19, that's fine. What happened with JD? JD is just in a biosculpt cycle because JD has a bunch of injuries that need healing. So, he's fine. Nothing abnormal. Once the farm is heated up, then the other question is the bright light zone underneath the sun lamp. I think I'm going to prioritize for corn. So this will be a grow zone for corn. Because it's really the only spot around this light which will be viable for corn. And then the flagstone that's within this radius can be hydroponic, and then everything else is going to be either tinctoria, which I don't think we need that much tinctoria, or fiber corn. Something that is a low light crop. But this corn zone can also double as the double strand zone if we ever want to pivot to grow double strand there. So this is sort of the region for that. But none of this will take place until it's, you know, double walled, heated, etc. At present, it's too cold. And we'll drop 2 columns in there too. So it's an enclosed zone now. We're also going to want probably just regular old lights. You know, maybe I'll do a flood lamp. Yeah. So that we don't ever have to harvest in the dark, because that's going to come with big penalties. Does hay grass need full light? Actually, I don't know off the top of my head. Yeah, it needs full light. Okay, it's all roofed up, so let's work on the double walls. I don't want to bother heating it until it's easier to heat. I'll see if 3 heaters cuts it. Might not be enough. And until it's ready to be grown in, I'm not even gonna... I'll just keep this door open. Now, as we're pushing deeper into spring, I will be able to start hauling the limestone that's out and around the map as well. We won't be restricted to deep drilled limestone only. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize we had a brownout. I'm going to tune this. Oh, you know what it is? The arc overdrive turned off. Glad I caught that. So I'm setting the tuning to wear out the arc hard and to burn a normal amount of fuel. Which should be... I still have excess of 4 or almost 5k. Iron! Nice. It's not convenient, but at least it's a new iron vein, which is probably the most critical, although I'm still trying to get uranium, so, you know, hopefully that day comes soon. And I am 161 out of 1,000 field burn towards next upgrade. So it's happening. Not all that fast, but it is happening. And I like this farm. It's weird, but I like it. And I think, friends, this is where I am going to leave off for not only this week, but the upcoming week as well. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patron, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow stalwarts and pilgrims.